Alright. Should be going now. Alright. I'm just waiting so I actually see it on YouTube. Yeah, I forgot I have my laptop put away. So I'm just... I find that interesting. It's amber? Okay, yeah. YouTube's just saying it's amber because I'm going at 1080 instead of 720, I guess. Alright. So yeah, still in... Well, back in Titan Quest. It's a good game, and I want to finish it. Oh, boy, is this stuff I'm talking about. How... You know what? I'm just trying to decide what would... This can't be text, but I also feel like talking about what happened a couple weeks ago. Why I didn't stream it. Okay, so I do. And I mentioned it, just apparently my Animax cooler, the Liquitech TR4, the full-size Threadripper cold plate on 240mm all cooler from Animax. Nice cooler, but I just noticed one day that, and actually it had occurred before, I believe, but that the CPU was suddenly throttling. It was going a lot hotter. Or, no, what I noticed was that there was one day when I had it doing something that I know how much heat it produces. It was a bunch of video processing. And I have my my desktop underneath my desk, which probably is a lot of people that makes them cringe. That's fine. It's just literally in my room. There was no other place to put it. But anyway, because the cooler pushes the air out, it pulls the air out of the case, that means it goes up, hits the bottom of the desk, and then rolls over the keyboard. Which means then that when it is doing stuff, when it's hot, I feel that. Because the air is rolling over the keyboard, I can feel that. And it wasn't doing that. It's like, I'm processing video, I know it should be hot, and I'm not getting any heat. So, yeah. So that was apparently failing. It was still functional, but I couldn't put much load on it. So I had to go to Animax, got an RMA. They should have gotten that on Monday. At least going to the tracking. I've been too busy this week, so it's not like I've been able to check in with them. Hopefully, I will hear something like the beginning of next week saying that yeah, it's been improved. The RMA, and there'll be some replacement. But fortunately, I have my old build, the one before the Threadripper, was cooled by a Corsair H110, and I still have that, and it still fits in the case. It's the same case I'm using. So yeah, that does mean that it is not a full-size TR4 Threadripper cold plate, but it works. Though I do think I need to make some tweaking to so it'll perform a bit better, especially because the fans, basically I need the fans to always be running. Whether that's just shifting the fan curve so that they will just go slowly at first, but will always be running, or just let it be at constant speed. I don't know, I don't really care. Constant speed is fine with me. It's just, they make so much noise when they spin up. Okay, I'm not sure, Titan Quest may have actually just crashed here. I'm gonna give it some time. So yeah, I'm not sure what I want to do with that. I'm also thinking maybe just getting new fans in there, because I don't like changing out the cooler. It's just such a pain dealing with the thermal paste. So even when I get the NMA fully functional NMAX back, I may you know, yeah, I gotta close Titan Quest. I may just decide not to bother putting back in. Keep using this for the time being. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, because of the cooler no longer functioning, that was causing issues with when it was under load, like when video processing, which you have to do with the stream. So yeah, that's why I didn't. And 2 weeks ago, I still had the Animax in. I hadn't replaced it yet. Um, so, yeah. Um, but I've actually been putting this cooler under more load than a stream would be since putting it in, so I know it can handle the stream. Yeah, so I mean, that's that situation. Then last week was just I've been working on a number of projects recently, and because this week I started work at a summer science camp, I kind of, wanted to get those projects done ahead of that because I knew I'd be losing time. Oh, come on. Okay, thank you. At least it's this. It's not a full time. But yeah, if you've noticed and been annoyed that, oh, why is all the Computech stuff coming out like 6 p.m. or later Eastern time? It's like, yeah, that's because I'm getting home at 5. So, yeah. But I've been trying to get in what I can before getting into bed so I can be more or less awake the next day when working with a group of kids. But yeah, this is... the only press conference I actually watched the stream of was the AMD one. Because, I mean, what can I say? I was more interested in that one because I think everybody knew Threadripper was... I don't know if it was formally announced or anything. It was just basically accepted that, yeah, this is when the second-gen Threadripper is going to be released. And seeing as how I've got a DX, I am interested in future Threadripper series of products. So I wanted to see that. And I will fully admit, I would be among that group that did not think that there would be an increase in core count. I'm completely serious. I figured that basically the 2950X, the next, assuming that's the name for it, but that the next top end Threadripper would still be a 16-core, 32-thread part, just with all the benefits that Zen Plus can give it, maybe some more, maybe some extra things because hey, it's Threadripper, let's do more here. So when that slide first came up, talking about on one side, hey, we got it on 12 nanometer now, which has benefits there. And then on the other side, talking about, hey, it's Zen Plus, so we got all the benefits of that too, meaning Precision Boost 2. And then finally this, big spot in the middle. It's like, holy crap, they did actually raise the core count, and then it's 32 cores, and then it's like, damn, that's... How did the... And immediately my mind also went to, but what are we doing about the... There's so many things I need to turn in. But these are... I don't think they're necessarily ready for, like, quest turning. But anyway, it just immediately in my mind went to the whole, okay, but what about the RAM latency? Because the way Threadripper works is it's 2 Zeppelin dies currently. I don't know what the name of the Pinnacle Ridge die is. It might still be Zeppelin. It might still actually be named that. But in any case, it has the 2 CCXs, so that's the 8 cores, 16 threads because SMT enabled. A memory controller, a dual channel memory controller, and then a PCI Express system. I don't actually know what that would be called. But whatever it is that's on chip that manages PCI Express, that's there too. So that's how Threadripper has the 64 PCI Express link, because one Zeppelin die supports 32, and also why it's quad channel, because it has 2 dual channel memory controllers there. And this is also why Epic has an 8-channel and 128 PCI Express lanes. So for a 32-core Threadripper, you'd have to disable. It is not wired so that you could have those memory controllers go directly to memory for these 2 other dies. So there are 2 that have to pass everything through the other dies. I didn't think that the AMD would go for that, but you know what? As I think I said it in the news item, maybe they've just, well, they have tweaked Infinity Fabric to minimize latency. We already know that because that's the case in the 2000 series Ryzen's. So it's like, you know, maybe this won't be so bad, and also it's not all workloads are going to be sensitive to that. But yeah, I was not expecting that, and then the fact that, because I did catch it when they were saying that these are air-cooled, the 24 core that they demoed against, was it the 7980XE, the 18 core part from Intel? I think that's right. And apparently that was on an all-in-one liquid. But hang on, I just wanted to quickly check something. Oh wait, I think it's that one. And it's just, in the fact that these were on air coolers, it's like I caught that. That's actually really impressive. Now sure, the clock speed might not be tremendously high, but you know what? For me, the 1950X is exactly serving what I needed. What I need. Even at the clock speed I'm currently running it at, which right now is 3.7 gigahertz. Yeah, can you get these things going faster? Sure. Will that a faster clock speed produce even higher frame rates? Yeah. I'm gaming at 1152 though. That's a little bit above 1080. I'm not going to see those benefits translate to much real world, especially because it's also at only 60 frames per second, 60 hertz monitor. I'm not the best person for needing high clock speed, though it would still help with the video work I do. It would still help. But it's like the core count is really what I wanted, and it is beautiful. So I don't even know if I had the money, if I would go to the 32 core, a second gen Threadripper 32 core. I honestly think I might be like, nah, I'm good with just like a 16 core version of that with Precision Boost 2. I'd probably be fine at that. But yeah, so that was really awesome to see that, and just to genuinely be surprised that they actually pulled that off. But that was not obviously the only high core count thing announced, and it should not be the only one talked about, but for very different reasons. So, as I said, I only watched the AMD one. I did not see the Intel show, Intel press conference. But I did, look at. So that would have been Tuesday. I did look at Intel's newsroom to see, what did they do? What are the press releases from? Because if I can use a first-party source, I want to use that. Intel's first party. And I saw the 8086K there, which is that neat? Is that a cool thing to see? Yeah. That's really cool to see. But it, looking at it, it's like, well, yeah, looks like this is just a specially binned 8700K. I'm sorry, that's not nice. You just giving us better binned chips. Better binned already existing chips. That's not impressive. And I mean, let me try to clarify this. The chip itself, man, Intel's first hitting 5 gigahertz, that's awesome. Good on them for that. What is unimpressive is that this is the strategy that Intel went with, which is not a new chip, it is just a better bin old chip. Old and that's already available. It's like, I am not impressed by that, I'm not enthused by it. I still entered the sweepstakes for one. But this isn't new. So, previously, if you could have overclocked the thing 5 gigahertz if you were lucky. Now it's like, well, you're just paying because Intel already did that work for you to identify it. It's supposed to be like Silicon Lottery or something like that. But one thing that was interesting, because if you the news items I wrote up on the 8086K. I did not write up one on Tuesday or the Wednesday on the 28 core part. There's a reason for that. It's not that I wasn't seeing things about it. It's that I was looking at the actual Intel press room, and there wasn't a press release on.
Thank you, kind hero. But my brother is around.
Yeah, I didn't see a press release on it, so that's why I didn't write anything up, because I was too tired to hunt down and find other sources for it that and be like, okay, that one's reliable, so just go with that. I wanted to get something done and then go to bed. Sorry if that's an issue to you, but I needed to be up early. So that waited, and it turns out it was a good thing because of the whole, I mean, as it is, anyone claiming today that there's a high core count, a 28 core card running at 5 gigahertz, there's more going on. Either it's not x86. I guess you might be able to do something like that with PowerDisk. I could see IBM having managed that somehow. Or they cheated. And it looks like Intel cheated very much. Because the chip actually looks to be a Xenon part, an already available Xenon part, a $10,000 already available Xenon part, that they just made it unlocked, well, the multiplayer unlocked. Then they put that thing on a specialized server where they can provide 1,000 watts of power. 1,000 freaking watts of power to the CPU.
Your inventory is full. You can't hold
Your
anymore.
inventory is full. I think there may still been. Nope. Okay. So they overclocked the damn thing to a ridiculous amount in order to get this 5 gigahertz. So 1,000 watts of power there. And then because that is so much heat.
The sigil of the first apoctasis. I will return it.
You have no more rooms.
Without all 3 of the items, I need a side.
It's not easy here.
Sorry, I
Try
was just
trading
distracted
goods with all these women who can turn you into a mouse.
Then with so much heat that in order to cool it, they used a water chiller that itself draws 1,000 watts of power. I'm sorry. A place like Tom's Hardware, or any place, being able to talk about how, yeah, they were going to demo the thing for us, but they couldn't because there wasn't enough power available to drive both the CPU and the cooler for it. That's an issue. That's red flags. And that is exactly what Tom's was reporting. That chiller that takes over 1,000 horsepower to start was a 1 horsepower water chiller. It's like, this is nuts. This is what Intel put out though, as a, hey, this is coming. And it looks like they very likely did that specifically to confuse, let's go with that nicer word, to confuse some people into thinking that Intel's actually going to sell a 5 gigahertz 28 core part. For crying out loud, they're not even selling a 5 gigahertz 8086K. I mean, yes, it is being sold, but in only limited quantities. It's like, this is a much smaller die. It would be easier to manufacture them and get some that can bin that high, but it's still a limited number because it's that hard to hit 5 gigahertz. And that's a single core boost. That's one thing I'm not clear about. Is if that was a single core or all core speed. Regardless. And as overclocking feat, that was impressive. As an actual product, it doesn't exist. And Intel, I think it's clear, wanted people to confuse it and think that that does exist as a product. And now that reality has been exposed, they may be regretting that. Because there are a lot of places that are now very annoyed with Intel for trying to do that to them. Because, if you're any kind of journalist, you need to be trustworthy. The companies don't need to be. You need to be. So the idea of Intel or AMD or NVIDIA or anyone trying to manipulate things, lies, damn lies, and statistics, that's what they do. Everybody should just recognize that and deal with it. But a journalist should be one who remains skeptical enough that they try to look into these things, or if not, at least display their skepticism. It's like, it's fine. You know, somebody who's just watching the press conference but wasn't there and would have read about it. I mean, this is just me talking. That if they were to see that and talk about that and be like, you know, this is unbelievable, and I'm not sure I fully believe it. It's like they were just saying, this doesn't quite seem right, and then let things turn out to either be true or not. It's like, that's fine, because at least you are couching it there as a this isn't some kosher. But apparently not many places did that. I know that I saw one headline about Intel crushing it, and it's like, I saw that headline. I didn't read the piece. I was just the Google News app on my phone. I was just looking at different headlines. I saw that and it immediately ticked me off, because it's like, this was before AMD's press conference. It's like, you never say something like that, because you always need to let whoever's gonna have the best chance at beating them, any of them, talk. You let them have their turn before you declare a victor. And lo and behold, I think most people would agree, yeah, AMD actually did crush it. Intel lied, or at least manipulated people. It's like, yeah, you don't write a headline that is too premature like that. But it's still, it's funny when you have one of the two main things people are gonna remember about the Intel press conference. The 8086K that's just the A700 specially bin, and a Xenon part that already exists and is $10,000 being overclocked to a point, and then that overclock not being admitted to on the stage. So two old parts that people already know and some people already own. So what impressive thing did Intel do? And I don't know how Intel could have thought that this was a good idea. Now, true, AMD didn't necessarily have that strong of a conference. That's admitted, because it's like held up and showed as far as new products, held up and showed the Radeon Instinct, the Vega 20, which, yes, that's awesome that they held up and showed it. We didn't see it in a card, though. Like, they didn't even just slap one in a housing that doesn't actually do anything. You know, just for show. It was just, which, true, I mean, the package is what a lot of people would actually want to see. I need to kill someone. This is to get the book to, I remember this one when I did this on my other character a few weeks ago. In order to get a book to get a potion to cure someone. Yeah, it's like, we didn't even see performance numbers or anything for the Vega 20, so it's like, yeah, that's not really that great. Threadripper was really the only thing they showed as far as they knew from AMD. Now, they also showed off a lot of interesting products coming from partners. Like, the Predator Helios 500? Is that it? The Predator laptop, the Acer Predator laptop that will be offered with a an R7 2700 along with a RX Vega 56, which that is so interesting to me. It really is, because you got Radeon Chill. I like Radeon Chill. I think that's that's a really, really neat technology, and I like using it in different games. Though let's just say that there are some things that knows about AMD power usage on my Vega 64 that make me interested in doing some more testing. I'm gonna die. So that was there, but they also were showing off a number of other products, including some using an APU. and one that I think is interesting, but it's interesting in two different ways. Very different ways. One, I think it was Asus, showing off a laptop. Okay, let's...
You condemn me to another 1,000 years of undeath.
Wow, I went through a lot. And still... No.
It is Medea.
Yeah, I'll look this way first. Oh yeah, that thing takes that it will be an AMD APU with an NVIDIA discrete GPU in there. I don't think they said what it was though. But still, that's interesting because it's interesting one way in that it's AMD and NVIDIA together in a laptop. It's like that's interesting. But then it's also interesting when you consider it as a... This means that they kicked Intel out of this offer. I mean, or that there is both going to be an Intel CPU version and AMD APU version with the same NVIDIA GPU between them. It's like, that is... These are both interesting. And I know some people, when I was watching the stream, were like, why are you promoting NVIDIA here? It's like, it still is an AMD product there. And seeing a company being comfortable putting both AMD and NVIDIA in there like that is actually a good thing. That's a powerful statement right there. Because that is essentially saying that, yeah, they do in fact... Intel and AMD are competitors here, and we are giving you the choice between them.
You have saved my sister out of the kindness of your heart. We only came to this.
So that is a big deal. That actually is a significant deal that they did that. I saw that. Now, there's also the sad news. Well, yeah, not sad, disappointing. That's the better word. News with NVIDIA that there's not going to be a new GeForce series for a long time, according to the CEO of NVIDIA, who's named, what, Jensen Huang? Wait, I'm not sure if I can pronounce it correctly. And that is definitely disappointing. But you know, after that, I had a weird idea into my mind. Completely a theory that is uninformed. It just, let's just say it's an alternative theory that would explain a lot of things that are fact, that we know this. Now, there are other explanations for this, so if anyone's listening, it's like, oh, what are you talking about? It's like, I don't know really what I'm talking about. I just know that this is something that would also explain a lot of what we've been seeing. What occurred to me, following this news that we're not going to see anything for a while. What if NVIDIA is having trouble with what comes next? Which, I know a lot of people would be like, no, that can't be the case. And it doesn't really make too much sense that NVIDIA would have this trouble because isn't it that their R&D budget is bigger than AMD? It's like their competitor is smaller than just what they can invest in research and development. You wouldn't think that they would ever be in research and development trouble, or at least not for long. But when this idea entered my mind, because it's like, and why would you delay? Because right now, I think would be a good time to do this. I've been saying before, you don't want something new coming out while GPU prices are still high, while graphics card prices are still high. It doesn't make sense. You're selling what you already have. Don't disrupt that, because the attention will not be on a new product coming. It will be on no one's going to be able to get this. I mean, that's still going to happen, but it's just that it's better to wait until things stabilize, and they have been. Now, not necessarily enough for a launch, but an announcement. You could have held something up and just be like, and this will be available by end of the year. And that's basically what AMD did with the Ray 960, which, granted, the customers for that are not gamers. But it's still like, you could have done something like that. That would have been fun. And clarified that this is
You
Turing,
can't hold anymore.
or whatever it's going to end up being. They could have done that. They didn't though.
Your inventory is
It's
full.
weird. The lighting sun doesn't change. So I do think that is interesting. Yeah, I think I do want to come back to the girl for now. And just as I'm thinking about this, it's like, well, what else do we know?
Please, have a
NVIDIA.
look.
We know that they already have something that did follow up Pascal, but only in hugely expensive products. You only see Volta in the Titan V. Okay, I knew there was something else I picked up that I didn't want to just toss away.
So long.
You managed to defeat Galaxenia and you do
And
not
that's the
look
book turner. Okay, and that I need to go back here for. But it's like, now true, Volta is way too damn big. I'm looking out loud. They had to work with TSMC so that they could have an aperture large enough to support making the chip.
How could anyone say the gods have a...
That's insane. That is insanity. That they have such a massive
Store your
chip.
goods or ship them out.
Solar prism. Yep. So I'll just stick it there. Druidic wealth. Druidic wealth, okay. Okay. Now, part of what is hurting the
A real hero, my
Volta,
caravan.
it's so damn big because of the tensor cores in it. Those are a good portion, and not at all needed for gaming. On top of that, they're kind of not that great, it turns out. There have been some people that have actually compared the Titan V against other products and found that, yeah, unless you're actually doing the specific work that a tensor core can work on, you're actually better off with a bigger Frontier Edition. Because the Frontier Edition is like $1,500. The Titan V is what, $3,000? I think it's $3,000. And it might still be faster in these other compute scenarios, but not twice as fast. That wouldn't justify that the more money there. But I mean, where the tensor cores work, though, I mean, it's what is that, over 100 teraflops, isn't it? It's huge. So yeah, if you're doing that, it's great. If you're not doing that, though, it's not so worth it. And it's like, well, why couldn't they remove the tensor cores, make it smaller, do some other tricks to it, and you basically have a GV 104 or whatever in order. Okay, it's doing its thing there. In order to have a consumer part. Why couldn't they do that? I don't know. Maybe this stuff is too built in, but it's, or maybe there's other problems. It's like you'd think that they would have had planned ahead for that. You know, that they wouldn't think that, oh yeah, we can just sit on Pascal for so long. That doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? Why would you plan for that, I mean? Not, why would you sit on Pascal? There's definitely reasons. Why would you plan for that? That doesn't make sense. And then it's like, well, what else is there? There's the whole Volta's not coming to a consumer GPU is the new accepted rumor that it will be Turing or Ampere, and the current thing is that it will be Turing. Which personally, I don't. It's like I can see how Ampere follows from Volta, so it makes sense in that way that it stays on. That's what remains for the more powerful compute. But on the other hand, Turing I associate specifically with computation, so I would think that. But anyway, whatever. It's a name. It does have some meaning there, but it's most people, they go out and buy graphics cards, they see the brand name, because yes, NVIDIA, people do actually see that. You don't need to create a program to make sure we know it's a GeForce brand. it's like we see that, and we see the numbers there. We don't. It doesn't say, hey, it's Pascal, or hey, it's, well, true, we do see it. Hey, it's Vega. We don't see, hey, it's Polaris. We didn't see, hey, it's Future. We didn't see that, 'cause that was Fury. But, you know, it's just... So the naming isn't too important there, but it's just... You made me think that the whole Volta isn't coming to consume the part. There's only 2 parts with it. Or is it 3? I think it's 2. The Titan V... Oh yeah, that's right, it's the sisters. Yeah, this is not going to be fun. Oh, I forgot to take care of these things. Those are going to disappear soon. Oh, no. Where's the maze? Somewhere there's a maze that I have to run through. Those open up the doors. I must have just accidentally gone by it. But it's like, you know, Volta isn't coming. We're gonna have a different architecture for that. And Volta's only into 2. And I know there's the Titan V, and then there's a Quadro or Tesla. Tesla accelerator? I don't remember. There's also an accelerator that it's gonna be, that it is in. And that's it. So it's like, Volta's not being used that. And true, it's an expensive as hell part, but still, we're not seeing it much. It doesn't seem to me like we're really having great architectural success with NVIDIA right now. And there's that, we don't have any idea what's coming next. It isn't coming soon. It's pure theory, pure speculation, not based on any kind of information except what is already out there in the public, and I've written news up on. But I do kind of wonder if maybe there's problems going on with whatever's coming. Because it's also, like, I find it amusing. People still hold it over Vega and insult Vega that it took too long to come out. That there was it 2 years between the Fury cards and Vega cards releasing? And apparently, some stuff makes it sound like Vega could have physically been launched earlier, but things were holding it back. I think mainly availability of HBM2, but anyway. And it's like, Pascal's at 2 years old now. It's like the GTX 1070, 1080 were released in 2016. And we still have no idea when they're being replaced. When are people gonna attack NVIDIA over that? It seems like people are just accepting disappointment, and I get angry about it. They're not insulting NVIDIA for it. And just my pointing out that it looks like there's a little bit of a double standard here, which isn't surprising. I mean, NVIDIA's got big mind share. People are going to forgive it. AMD does not have big mind share. People are not going to forgive it. Just happens. And now my mind just switched off on me a little bit. But yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Just how it is interesting that, yeah, NVIDIA released the 1000 series in 2016. Now, true, the 1080 Ti was released last year, so that is newer, but not. I mean, it's still a GP110 something GPU. It's just 102, which is what the Pascal Titan is. So it's like this already exists. This already existed. Like some people point out. I know Jim of Adored TV point out the whole, yeah, I knew that the 1080 Ti was coming because why wouldn't it? The 1080 was the 104. We knew 102 existed. That's what was in the Titan. So, if you didn't think something was coming, you just weren't, following how NVIDIA names its cards, names its GPUs. Where the hell is the thing I'm looking for? Is it back here? There was somewhere that, or maybe no, because that's where the girl was. Could that? I don't know. It's like I want to get rid of these. So it's like, you know, the 1080 Ti, most powerful gaming GPU currently available, no question there. But it's like, it isn't new. It's like AMD had the 400 series launched the same year. Then they followed that up with the 500 series, which, yeah, that shouldn't have been the 500 series. That should have been the 4X5 series. Like, you know, the 580 should have been the 485. Yeah, but it's still, they launched something. Oh, I haven't been over here yet. And then they launched Vega. NVIDIA hasn't launched anything except other things within Pascal, within the 1000 series. And some of them are pissing people off, because it's like, how many different versions are there now of the 1050 or 1060? I still dislike the existence of the 1070 Ti, just on the principle of you do have market segmentation between parts for a reason, and they basically decided, we're gonna hurt that, just because it's like, no, we can't let the Vega 56 slide in between the 1070 and 1080. No, we can't allow that. We needed something to keep there. Which, yeah, that was interesting. I think it was hardware unboxed. Which I don't know if they also put up a written article technically or not. They might have. Compared the Vega 56 and 1070 Ti and shocker 1070 Ti 1, it's like, well, yeah, but it was made specifically to beat the Vega 56. Well, it was released specifically to beat the Vega 56. It wasn't exactly made, it already existed, they just tweaked some things. Yeah, anyway. That's like, there's... What does NVIDIA actually put out that's new? Not much. For use. Oh, maybe this is it. Maybe this is what it is. So, yeah, I do kind of wonder if maybe NVIDIA is having some trouble and just no one's talking about it. I don't know. Chances are, though, they'll have that trouble solved soon, if there is any. It's like, even though he said long time, it'll probably just be end of the year. We'll probably get... Hot Chips is supposed to talk about it, that's in August. We're probably going to have something, the 11,000 series, 1100 series out before the end of the year. Really, the only question is, what will it be like Pascal was, which was basically just die-shrunk Maxwell? Which, hey, still very successful, still very well done, still very successful, and deserves praise on that. You know, will it just be a refined Pascal? Will it be GP 200? Or will it actually be something fully new? That we'll have to see. Will it be a half-step generation? Will it be a full-step generation? We won't know until the parts are out. But, yeah. Let me see. What more can I talk about? How about this? I am working next week, so expect news from me coming up late as well. Late in the day. And I don't know, actually, if there will be more or less news. It is possible there will end up being more, because I get more press releases sent to me concerning gaming stuff than I do hardware. And that, as in, I am on the press list for a variety of game publishers, so I get those directly sent to me. Whereas hardware stuff, that's more likely to come to like the OCC news address, and then I see it. But it's just, yeah, we'll see. Or somebody else sees it and makes sure that it gets something and do that. So yeah, it's just me personally. I may end up getting more. But it's also one thing I do this in rule, unless like there's one exception to this that's actually kind of recent, and will probably be mentioned at E3. That is Red Dead Redemption 2. That currently is only a console game. They have not announced a PC version. I will still put stuff up about that because I know people care about it, and there is an expectation that it will eventually come to PC, like GTA 5 eventually did. So I think that that's fair. But what was? Yes. Hang on. Now I want to check this. Let me just check this. I think. No. What is that? There has been one game that I'm against it for, but it's like it always says it's like just. Oh well, actually no. I know a perfect example. Titan Quest is coming to the Switch. That's definitely interesting, but it's like it's not PC. So I didn't put the head up. It's great to see it's coming to the Switch for a number of reasons. You know, it's a good game, so it coming is a good thing in that regard. It's also good because it continues to show an interest by THQ Nordic in Titan Quest, which undoubtedly makes a lot of people happy. Okay, where? Oh yeah, that's right. It's just back here. Yeah, and it's just that's only console, so I chose not to rank that up. So yeah, that may help with weeding some things out, but I don't know how much that'll work. It's gonna be another busy week. And the funny thing is, the week after, I'm not working. I'm not scheduled to work that week at the camps, so the week after both of the big conferences that will keep me writing lots of news is when I actually have off. I'm sure I'll find something to fill the time. In fact, yeah, I know exactly. Yep. I'll be doing some of my recordings because I need to record. Okay, so that will be unlocked by the Switch in there. Next up is Metro Last Light, and also I want to do To the Moon with my recordings, and Finding Paradise, its sequel, which I actually have not played yet. So that'll be the first time playing it. So I'll probably try to do those that week. And I figure some of those are stacked. They're not horribly full.
You can't carry anymore. You can't hold anymore.
I don't know what I was hoping to get out of that. I'm not seeing any.
You have no more room.
More I can fit in there. So let's just take care of this. Yeah, I'll worry about the runes and such post stream. Oh wow, I've been going for a good long time. All right.
A good day.
Oh no, didn't I actually need to tell that because I haven't looked at these things yet. It's not closely. Oh. One thing I did see yesterday, I think it was, that I am. It's like, could I have dug some to find an item to write up a news item on it? Yeah, I don't think it was worth it though because of the timing.
Not since Perseus has a hero wrested the eye away from the weird sisters. But you have many deeds left undone.
Apparently Just Cause 4
you
had a
might
leak
even survive.
showing like box art for it, which that's awesome. That's really cool, and I really hope I would be able to get on press list to ultimately like review that. I enjoyed Just Cause 2 immensely. Just Cause 3 is also a lot of fun. Just Cause 4 will yes, that definitely would want that, but it's like, it'll be announced formally next week, I'm sure. I'll wait.
I see pain and suffering. I see loss and folly. I see my dark goddess languishing, imprisoned, and the underworld writhing in turmoil. I see war.
Okay.
Your journey begins here. Follow the footsteps of the few who have walked among the dead.
Okay. What else do I... Okay. So I just need to figure out where to turn this in. Probably back to the other area. But I do think I have... Oh wait, I need to finish picking stuff up. I think I have everything for that though. We'll see. Yeah, check out there. But yeah, next week is... Oh man. I'm gonna be so busy. I was busy this week, I'll be busy. Well, yeah, next week is going to be an interesting week. Here's something I can briefly talk about at least. So because of the issue I've run into with the Animax cooler that I had been using since I built the Threadripper PC, decided to start looking at maybe just trying for a custom water loop, and I still don't know. I mean, it's just there's certain things about it that still scare me, the prospect that still scare me. So, plus it's like I should be getting that thing back. I might not go to it. I might stay on what I have installed currently. I just need to tweak the fans. See, I don't know. Okay, where the heck is the guy I turned into? Or do I not have everything? Let me look. Side mushroom. I am missing something. Night blossom metal. So I still need this Estivus root.
Store your goods or ship them out.
Oh. Let me go there. Well, no, I'll take care of that stuff later.
Hera smile on you.
So I'll just get
The
rid of
arcane
this
arts
stuff
are
I
no
don't
more
need.
than remembering secrets that you once knew. Find strength within.
Yeah, I think it may be faster to come at it this way. One thing though I did find that does intrigue me when looking at the water cooling, the custom water cooling stuff. Apparently, EK offers a semi-modular, all-in-one, like semi-custom, a modular semi-custom cooling system that is definitely intriguing. Crap, what is it called? The Phoenix? I don't remember. And it's like it actually does come. Well, you can get it with a Threadripper cold plate. Although one thing I saw made it sound like it's not, because the original Threadripper cold plate they had was not that good. It sounds like this thing may still come with the not so good one, which doesn't make sense to me. You'd think they'd have stopped production of the original. Or maybe they did, and that person I saw was just like still getting an old one. But anyway, or got an old one. But that is something that's definitely interesting. I don't think it would necessarily fit in my case though. Okay, let me just get down. There we go. Okay, I have it. Yeah, because it's a neat thing. It's the cold plate, and you can get the CPU cold plate or a GPU cold plate, and you can. The cables have couplers in them that will seal, so you can just do that and not worry about there being any leakage. But the pump and tank are built into the radiator, and the radiator comes with the fans pre-installed on them, which I would probably want to get like the 280 millimeter because I can fit a 280 millimeter radiator. I can fit in my case as far as mounting. I have a spot for that, but it might be too tall. I don't know. There's like one piece of metal that might work. And I wouldn't want to spend the money to find out that it wouldn't work. But I don't know. I'd probably just try reaching out and asking them some information on that. Because hey, it doesn't hurt reaching out and asking. At worst, you just don't get a response. Okay. So this is yeah, that's what I want. There we go. Come on. So yeah, definitely an interesting idea though, that to have that setup. And it's also neat because what it allows you to do is basically just have the radiator. And you can buy the CPU block, or you could buy the GPU block, or you could buy both. The pump is powerful enough you can have these both in there and it'll go through. It's like that's really neat as a way to introduce someone well, yeah, sort of to custom cooling. It's not really. But it's also a way for EK to introduce itself into all things. But yeah. One thing I don't know if I would ever do would be to try water cooling a GPU. I'm just... The idea of taking apart, like taking off the cooler to put on another block does kind of intimidate. Just too much fear I'd break. CPUs, I'd be more comfortable with that. Because they come without something to have. Okay, good. It was just like one hand was being blocked there. Oh, I'm sure there's more I can talk about. I got them. Oh, I did see one thing. Did not write it up, in part because it's in no way super sharp. And until it's real, I don't know how much to care. Intel at least announced it is coming essentially Optane-based solid-state drive that goes into a DDR4 DIMM slot. Now you need a system that's been configured so they can use it as non-volatile storage. Definitely pretty interesting. I don't know how much I care because it's also like Optane in theory with its crosspoint design and crosspoint memory can be very fast, but a lot of times when I've seen reviews of it, it's like, yeah, but the Samsung 960s and now 970 still perform like as well or better. So
At last, I have everything I need.
yeah, I'm
Here is your potion, hero. Drink it, and you shall have the strength.
okay. Yeah, so I think I just given that it's not like I actually drank a potion.
There's potions, good arms and armor too.
All right, which means that this can so I'll throw these over here for now.
So long.
And I completely forgot what I was just talking about. I know I was talking about some of the cooling stuff. I feel like there was other... something else. I don't know. My mind is kind of shot. I'm just from being tired. Yeah. Yeah,
They
we can
came
talk.
quickly and in force.
Yeah.
So quickly we were caught up.
Basically just, hey, you have new quests to do.
Stores I hadn't passed it on.
There.
Gone. Athena protect
Alright.
you.
So yeah, I've got things to do. I went for just over an hour. And no dropped frames. Awesome. And looking at the temperature, 67. That's good. Could be better, but it is good. This is part of why, let's see, it looks like the fans are going at about 1400, and I think that the fans basically just go at 1500 at max. It's probably the reason why I'm thinking about changing them. Yeah. But oh man, doing this on a 32 core, that would just... See, I would like to see that just as far as what like X264 preset you could do. Like currently, it's at fast. Previously, I want to say I was doing it at medium, but I dropped it down to fast because of the frames dropping for it, and I think that was actually because of the cooler failing. I think that was actually interfering with the performance of the CPU. Like, it was getting so hot that it was cooling off, that it was throttling down. That was causing it. Because I haven't had the issue with this cooler. I had it with the other one. So, and I didn't have it before, when I know was fully functional. Have been having it, had it since then. So, I know. But anyway, that would be so neat. But it's just for some of the stuff I do, like this 32 cores. That'd be awesome because it's like instead of medium, maybe could go to slow. That would be unbelievable. But on the other hand, some of the stuff I do when I'm like, reprocessing the video, I'm applying filters there. Some of those filters don't care so much about cores. So, clock speed would be more valuable there. That's why I think for me, if I would go to 2nd gen Threadripper, like to actually put down money and buy it, I'd be buying the 16 core version, because assuming it would clock higher. Which we don't know until that stuff is formally announced. I mean, as it is, we only know 24 and 32 exist. I'm sure a 12 and 16 core exist. Why wouldn't they? It just, it's like, yeah, have a 2950X, have a 2970X, that would be the 24, and 2990X, something like that, for the 32. But anyway, I'm talking enough. I'm going to stop this. And then you can get on with your life of not hearing my voice, rambling on. I think many people would enjoy that. Hey, nobody watching. That's not surprising. Actually, in analytics, nobody ever watched. Not surprising. Oh man, I forgot. Okay, one last thing. YouTube. Why the hell did you change it? Change how you do time zones? It is now... YouTube is now at the center of the world. At least as far as time zones go. Not even GMT. It is... Nope. Their Pacific time zone is now... That's 0. Change your time off that. Yeah. Why? Just why? I'll just say see you next time. I don't know if that will be next week, because I would not be surprised if something comes up. It's just... That's how it's been recently. Regardless, have a good week, guys. Have a good